Yo, what's the dealio, y'all? What's the dealio, man? It's Sunday, right? We got the watch list popping off. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to digest, man. So say what's up in the comments, right? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, okay? And we going to get this thing started in a minute or so. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Hope y'all having a good weekend. But we got a lot to talk about, all right? We got a lot to talk about. Things have been very eventful in the stock market, in the economic markets, and all of that stuff. So yeah, man. All right. So if y'all just tuning in, man, say what's up in the comments. Let me know where y'all tuning in from, and also do me a favor and like this video as well. All right. Best Beezy, what up? What's up, QTZ? How you feeling? Adam, what's up, Adam? All is well. It's been a good weekend. It's been a real good weekend. I'm just ready and I'm just focused, right? I'm ready to make this happen. I'm ready for this week to start, right? It's a lot of stuff brewing. It's a lot of stuff going on. So we got to really make sure we locked in today, right? We locked in and we understand this assignment that I'm gonna give you guys, all right? We got a mission this week. The mission is to set ourselves up, all right? The mission is to set ourselves up. Swell Hunter, what up? What's up, Charlie? BG, what up, bro? Genesis, what's up, Genesis? What's up, Big O, 1977? Brian Jasper, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? All right, be sure to like this video for me if y'all just tuning in. All right, what's up, Key? All right, so like I was saying, man, we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the whole market, what happened, and what the game plan is. But I really want you guys to understand that it's times like this to really set yourself up, all right? If you look back on April, if you would have just got into 3 different swing trades, right, you could have 5x your money on each trade, right? So it's like you got to understand what's happening right now. What's happening right now is it's going to be a wealth transfer. And the wealth transfer is going to be, everybody going to be scared right now, right? Price is going to come down a little bit more, and then we're going to get some reversals, right? People ain't going to see it coming. And then we're going to go up higher, right, for the rest of the year. This is what they do, okay? What they do is they make you get so fearful that you cannot believe that stocks are going up. And by the time you start to believe that stocks are going up and we're going up, right, 2, 3, 4, 5 months then passed, right? And then what happens? You end up getting in and then it pulls back again. So it's like we got to be able to adjust and adapt very fast and very swiftly. And we got to be able to see what's going on in real time, okay? I wanted to make sure that I break that down first and foremost, all right? I wanted to break that down first and foremost, y'all, because this is what happens. They make people get into a mental state of deep fear, right? So people cannot see clearly. And then what happens is they enter in their positions, right? They get in at all these low prices and all these different stocks. The stocks run up. And because the people are in so deep a state of a fear, they don't believe that stocks are really going up. And by the time they believe it, they start getting in positions. And now the whole run has happened. And now people are buying high and then they start selling low. And then they always say the market doesn't work. It's a scam. No. You have to be able to get into your trades before it is obvious, all right? You have to be able to get into your trades before it is obvious, right? When it's fear in the market, that's a time for you to start loading up on your positions and giving it time so you could put yourself in a position 3 months later to be up an extra 50 to 100K, 800K, you know what I'm saying, 50K, 15K, whatever your account is at. In the next couple of months, you could be up crazy by the end of the year off of decisions that you made here in October. All right? By here in October, you guys could be in position in these trades and then take advantage of this rally we about to have, and you could just be watching your money going up, 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 up. All right? If that's making sense, y'all, let me know in the comments. All right? If that's making sense, let me know in the comments. I just wanted to like start this live out. It ain't no fear over here, right? We know clearly exactly what's going on, right? We saw this happen before with the trade wars, okay? So this ain't we ain't getting duped over here, all right? Focus on getting rich. That's the key. Focus on getting rich. Don't be focused on all of the fear stuff out here. The stock market does these things. The stock market has pullbacks. It is our job as traders and retail investors to be able to identify it, not be fearful, give things time, be patient, and change our financial situations. All right? So let me know if that makes sense in the comments, y'all. All right? That's how we starting off this Sunday live. All right? That's how we starting off this Sunday live. If you guys are just now tuning in, say what's up in the comments and also like this video. All right? Do me a favor, like this video, because we're going to be talking about how can you set yourself up to get rich by the end of the year over the next 7 to 14 days. Okay? Over the next 7 to 14 days, it's going to be time to get rich. All right? But we got to get in position. Okay? So, what up, Donald? Had my best day ever on Friday. I made over a stack. First time, almost a full year. Hey, there you go. That's what's up, Gerald. Shout out to that, man. Shout out to that. What's up, Pam? How you doing? What up, Adam? Darrell, what's up? What up, India? Timothy, how you doing? What's up, Kelton? Mark C, what's up? So look, y'all. All right, so I just wanted to start off the live with that right there, man. This is real life, okay? We got big opportunities in the market, and we got to make sure that our mind is ready for all of this. Okay? Darrell said, as soon as I saw this, I said they're trying to shake people out, not me. I'm loading the boat. Exactly. Exactly. What up, Buckeye Treats? Exactly. That's what I'm saying, okay? So this is not the, like we could come down a little bit more, but at the end of the day, we gonna be able to see what's going on, know our levels, and I got three trades for y'all, 3 stocks that I'm watching, and I'm gonna give y'all, you already know I'm gonna give you guys the levels. I'm gonna give y'all the levels that I would be entering these stocks at. All right, I ain't just gonna say, oh, Nvidia, go get Nvidia. I ain't gonna do that. I like giving you guys practical information that could change your life. All right. So do me a favor, be sure to like this video. Okay, by the end of this video, let's make sure that we have 100 likes on this live stream. All right. So we got the Sunday watch list. Now check this out, y'all. All right. We're gonna go over last week real quick. I ain't gonna waste y'all time. Y'all know I'm all about giving you guys real value. Okay? Real value. So let's go to the watch list last week. All right? Last week, we had the watch list. And this is what happened. All right? What up, P. Bryant? All right, so this is what happened. So last week, I called for the watch list. I said Apple, right? Apple is on a bull flag right here. Okay, it's on a bull flag right here. I said if we could get above that 258.97, entering the calls, and we go up higher, we break out of that bull flag, right? So watch this, y'all. Okay, so this is what happened. We go here, and now we inside of the charts. So let's go to Apple real quick. Apple, where you at? Okay, so we go to Apple. Look what it did. All right. It never got above our level, right? Never got above our level. And then it rejected, and then it came all the way down here. Okay, it's 244 level. But that's a beautiful thing. You know why? Because now we go, instead of waiting for the breakout, right? Instead of waiting for the breakout here, we can actually enter in this range right here. And then we could swing it and then ride it back to the breakout. And then when it breaks out, then we can ride it up, you know what I'm saying, all the way to like 272, 280. Okay? So that's what happened with Apple last week. Let's go with Rocket Lab. I call Rocket Lab, right? They've been in the bull flag, all-time high breakout. Okay, so let's go to Rocket Lab real quick. Let me show you guys what happened. All right. So look, last week, this was on Friday. This was last Friday. Look what they did on Monday. They came up 57 and they came all the way up to $73, right? If you guys would have played Rocket Lab, you would have banked and you would have made money. So understand how these watch list call outs work. All right. All you gotta do is pay attention to the levels that I'm saying and pay attention to what I'm outlining for you. You trade it like that, right? And you can make a lot of money. All right. So that's Rocket Lab right here. And then the last one I said was QUBT, was quantum computing. All right, let's look at QUBT real quick. QUBT, they never got above our level. This was on, what day was this on? This was on Tuesday. Yeah, so on Monday they came here, and then on Tuesday they came up here. So yeah, they never got above the $25 level that I was looking for. So there was never a reason to take this right here. All right, so QUBT, it just rejected off of it. It tried to, and then it came all the way down to $19. Okay, came all the way down to $19 right here. So yeah. So we're gonna get ready to go over to SPY now. But that's what the watch list did last week. All right. Now last week was some stuff that you can't fully predict. The way that they did it on Friday last week, the way that they made the market sell off, it was, you could tell what was going on because the technicals on the charts last week, I saw reversals, right? And I saw stocks getting ready to go back up. And then that next day, so it went up and then it came down hard on Friday after it went up on Thursday. So some would say that that's a dead cat bounce, but technicals was showing we was about to start trending back to the upside in certain stocks, right? But that didn't happen, right? Trump tweeted something, and when Trump tweets something, all of the technicals go out the window, right? So that's why all of the charts, they all kind of look the same right now. If you look at all the stocks across the board, for I would say 90% of them, when we're talking about the major stocks that most people are trading, all the charts look exactly the same, right? They all look exactly the same. So because all the charts look exactly the same, what we have to do is we have to be patient this week, right? And we have to let stocks find their support levels. There's going to be a lot of fake outs that are going to happen tomorrow. And it's also Columbus Day. The banks are closed, but the market is open. So what that means is we might even have low volume tomorrow as well, right? We might be chopping around tomorrow. I don't even know if I'm going to take a trade tomorrow. Okay, yes, I think we're going to get a gap, either a gap up or a gap down. I would not be surprised if we did gap up. If we don't gap up and we gap down and we come down a little bit more, on like Wednesday, I'm going to be looking for a reversal. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to be looking for a reversal. And then that's what's going to let me know if I see that reversal, then I'm going to say, okay, now we have a reversal signal off of the daily time frame and we can start getting ready to come to the upside. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I would say that I'm looking at. So we got to understand how to play this stuff. All right, so let me know if that makes sense, y'all. If y'all are just now tuning in, say what's up in the chat box, right? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, okay? And also like this video as well. All right, we about to go over the watch list and what my setups are, but I want to make sure that I'm analyzing the market and I'm actually helping teach you guys something rather than me just giving you guys a quick play here and a quick play there, right? I'm not here to piece feed you crumbs. I'm here to actually help you get the game. I'm here to actually help you understand how this thing works, right? So just make sure that you guys are locking in and tapping in and understanding that I'm not here to just feed you a play here and there. I know my content is longer, right? But it's not because I want to just give you a play and that's it. I do want to help people understand so that you can have this forever. All right. So make sure we understand that. And y'all like that video, right? And lock in with me, tap in, let me know where you guys are tuning in from the comments. Okay. Mark C said, these call outs be crazy. OKLO few weeks made me start really giving this channel my attention. There we go. Hey, look, that's why I keep doing this stuff, man, because it ain't no fluff. Right? Like we really be calling some real bangers. All right. Then failed 2 candles starting to stand out more to me. Hey, them is a game changer. All right, I might do a video one day about failed 2 candles because those are some powerful candles. All right, what's up? Checking in Queens. Hey, shout out to Queens, man. Shout out to New York. All right, we talked about the downside coming in the last week's study session. Yep, we sure did. What up, Michael Owens? Do something. Charlotte. Okay, shout out to Charlotte, man. All right, so check this out, y'all. Let's go over last week. Youngstown, okay. Let's go over last week. Let's go over what happened, right, with the SPY from a technical perspective, right? I'm talking about a technical chart perspective, right? So peep this. We're going to pull up the charts and let's go over the SPY and the IWM, right? So the SPY, one second. All right. So we got the SPY, right? Let's go pull them up real quick. All right, check this out. All right, so right here we got the SPY, and this is obviously what happened right here, right? We have a big dookie candle right here, right? A big red dookie candle. It had some selling pressure up here, but it pushed it down, right? So now it just passed this order block right here, okay? So we got an order block right there. So let me tell you the levels that you want to pay attention to for SPY tomorrow, okay? Depending on where we open up at and all of that stuff, I'm going to give you guys some levels to pay attention to, all right? These levels are going to be very, very important for you guys to understand, all right? So we got right here, it's going to be at 650.23, okay? So 650.23. I want you guys to pay attention to that level right there, okay? I also want you guys to pay attention to 652.16, all right? 652.16, okay? I want y'all to pay attention to 652.16, and I want y'all to pay attention to 650.23, okay? Now, if we lose 650.23, I want you guys to also pay attention to 641.98, okay? 641.98, okay? I want y'all to pay attention to that level right there as well. Key, the market is open, but the banks are closed, all right? So I just said that earlier. I said I might not even take a trade tomorrow because we might have low volume. If we have low volume, it's because the market is open, but the banks are closed, and so not everybody is in office. Therefore, I might just chill. I don't know. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow. All right? So pay attention to those levels right there, okay? And then also the last level I want you guys to pay attention to is 646.98, okay? 646.98. All right. So these are some levels I want you guys to pay attention to on the SPY this week. All right. We have 652.16, 650.23, 646.98, and 641.98. All right. So this is a huge engulfing candle. It took out all of this right here. Okay. So we could be coming down here to 635 at this order block, potentially. So we have to see, right? We have to see. And I'm going to be paying attention to the daily time frame, but also I'm going to be paying attention to the 4-hour time frame a lot more this week because I'm going to be looking for reversals on the 4-hour time frame that let me know that we could be going to the upside, but it may not show on the daily time frame until the next day, right? Because if you see a reversal on the 4-hour time frame, that might be that it's reversing and you could get in, and then the next day it'll show as a reversal on the daily time frame, right? So you guys want to make sure that you know what time frames to pay attention to when you're looking for certain things. Okay? So that's what happened with the SPY, and these are levels that I want you guys to pay attention to, right? I'm not going to give any resistance levels. Reason being is because we see where the stock just came from. The main thing I want you guys to focus on is your support levels this week. because when you have your support levels, and we know that we kind of were in a free fall on Friday, right? Now we might have a little bit more to go on certain stocks or certain indexes, but I want you guys to pay attention to these support levels. If we get below these support levels, then it's going to go to the next support level, okay? And until we stop falling, right, we just need to know where our support levels are. And if we do see a support level and we bounce, then you can enter in the calls and you know where the stock just came from, right? So that's what happened with the SPY. Let's go to the IWM. Very, very similar, chart right here, right? So what I want you guys to pay attention to is this is a support level right here at 237.65, right? So we're going to go right here and we're going to go to 237.65, right? That's what I said. Yep, 237.65. This is the first support level, right? Now, right here, right here with this level right here that I said 237.65, that's almost where we closed at. That's almost where we closed at on Friday. So it's going to be below here, right? So we potentially could be coming down to 229.34, okay? So I want you guys to pay attention to this level right here, right? 229.34. All right, that's not out of the question, okay? That is not out of the question. And the reason why it's not out of the question is because when you're looking at this right here, when you're looking at this chart right here, on Friday, right? On Friday, IWM opened at 245, right? They opened up at 245, okay? And then they closed on Friday at 237, okay? So what that means is that's an $8 move that they made in one day, okay? So if IWM gaps down $2 and then it comes down another $7 potentially, that would put us down to this $229 level, okay? So I want you guys to make sure that you guys are understanding this stuff, because this is real life. This right here is the time to really know your levels on a very important level, because what's going to happen is when you know where to enter in these stocks, that's when you're going to know it's time to get rich. Because if you enter in and you have minimal down draw, like a drawdown, and you take entry, you guys are going to be able to make a lot of money over the next 2 months. All right. So it's time to make sure that we are getting in position. All right. Getting in position, but we got to know these levels. So we got 229.34, I said. Also, guys, want you guys to pay attention to 232.52. All right. 232.52. 232.52 is another level that I want you guys to pay attention to. All right. 232.52. I want you guys to pay attention to that level as well. All right. And then if all hell breaks loose, right, and it's just Armageddon, right, then I want you guys to pay attention to this area right here between 226 and 223. All right. Between we're going to say between 223 and 226, okay? Try to pay attention to this area right here. This is an order block right here, okay? But I think that with IWM, we might come down. We could come down to 229. I think that is very realistic to come down to 229 maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, okay? Now, like I said, we do have to see. I'm not trying to predict anything, but I'm trying to make sure that we are all ready for this week. And I'm talking about bulletproof ready. Y'all get what I'm saying? I'm not talking about, just wake up and get in the trade. No, we got to know and understand what's really going on, the psychology, okay? We got to understand the psychology, all right? So that's what we got for the SPY and the IWM. All right, if that makes sense, let me know in the comments. All right, if y'all just tuning in, do me a favor, like this video and put in the comments where y'all tuning in from. All right, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I just gave you guys a breakdown of the SPY and also the IWM. What I said was I want you guys to focus on support levels this week, right? Because if stocks Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday, they coming down, right? I want you guys to pay attention to where the stocks are coming down to. When you pay attention to where stocks are coming down to, you're going to figure out your support levels. And when you figure out those support levels, you're going to know where it's going to bounce from. And if it does come back down, you know where it's going to go back up to. But this was a big day on Friday, and we're going to have an opportunity to enter into some really nice trades and let these things ride to retrace where they just came from. But we got to make sure that we're not entering into calls prematurely. If you enter into a call too early, what happens is you actually end up, putting yourself in an unnecessary place. Okay. So let me know if that all makes sense. Okay. Bond market closed. All right. And a lot of people want to be trading because if you used all your cash, you get it wrong too. Yeah. On tomorrow as well, your settled cash is only going to be what you had on Friday. That's another thing as well, right? You're not going to have all your settled cash because the banks are going to be closed on Monday. All right. So that's another thing right there. What up, William? How you doing? All right. What up, Dress? All right. So, Soldier said, what's up? Chiming in from Houston. Shout out to Houston, man. All right. Quick question. As a beginner, is it realistic to profit 10,000 from investing 500? No. Nope. I don't want to say no, but I think that that's unrealistic. You got to understand, you can't put $500 in and make 10,000 as a complete beginner unless you got super lucky, right? Like no, I would not. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, go make $10,000 from $500 in 2 months like that. I'm not going to say that. It's possible, yes, but do you have a community, a trading community, right? Are you doing this by yourself? Like, you got to ask yourself these questions. What's your personal psychology? Have you already traded before? Like, where are you at with everything? Do you have the know-how or no? Right? Like, no. But as a complete beginner with no guidance, no, you're gonna blow that 500 within a month, easily, right? So you gotta ask yourself, like, it's not about how much money could I make as fast. It's about, am I willing to sit here and invest time to learn this skill set that could feed me and my family forever? That's what's more important is trying to make $10,000 in 2 months off a $500 investment. All right. That's just what I'm going to say. Right. So yeah, I wouldn't even have that expectation. Right. If anything, I would say, okay, I want to double my money in a month. I want to double my money in 2 months. That's what I would focus on, rather than just trying to make $10,000 from $500 in 2 months, right? So yeah, so it's probable, yes. No. It's possible, but it's not probable, okay? There's a big difference between what's possible and what's probable, all right? Anything is possible, but when we look at the probability of things and we understand statistics and variables and things, that's not probable, all right? Yeah, it's a slow grind in the beginning, right? It's a slow grind in the beginning, and then as you start to understand it, then you start to be like, okay, I'm figuring it out, and the money is going to come faster, but it's going to come because you're slowing the money down, right? And until you understand that concept, it's not going to fully click. So to everybody, man, stop trying to get rich so fast. Focus on getting rich over time, but not overnight. What do I always say? Get rich over time, not overnight. You're not going to get rich overnight, and if you try to get rich overnight, you're going to go poor. Right? You're going to go broke, basically, because you're going to blow your money instead of just being consistent. All right. So stop trying to get rich overnight, get rich over time, but you can get rich. All right. So yeah. So let's go over these trades, these picks for this week. All right. If y'all just tuning in, man, like this video. Let's get this video right here to 100 likes by the end of the session. All right. And be sure to tap in the comments and let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right. So I'm pulling it up right now for this week's picks. All right, for this week's watch list. Okay, we got some bangers. All right, so like I said, first thing, I want everybody to focus on finding your support levels and looking for a reversal. All right, look, I'm gonna break this down real simple for you guys. All right, all you have to do this week is focus on support, and wait for a reversal confirmation, and you will get rich, right? Or you will make money. How about that, right? Focus on support levels, wait for a reversal, and you will make money. All right, I'm gonna say it one more time. Focus on support levels, wait for a reversal confirmation, and you will make a lot of money. That's all you got to do this week. Okay? That's all you got to do this week. Okay? Like, obviously, know what's going on in the market and stuff like that. But if you're patient enough and you let stocks come to support and you get a reversal confirmation, you can set yourself up to make a lot of money. All right? So he said, that's my whole motivation is my fam. I'm a beginner with some knowledge, but I just have to ask because you do have people that will tell you that you can appreciate. Nah, for sure, bro. Absolutely. I ain't never going to sell you guys a dream. I'm not here to sell you guys a dream. I'm here to sell you on yourself. All right? If you could understand how powerful you are, right, then you will be like taking things serious. And I'm not saying that you're not taking things serious, but what I'm saying is I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm not here to sell you materialism. What I'm here to do is sell you on yourself through knowledge, right? And through wisdom, right? And through authenticity. I'm trying to help you realize that you can do this, right? But you got to trust and you got to believe in yourself. That's what this is about, right? So I don't sell dreams. I'm selling you on yourself. And when you buy into yourself, finally, that's when your whole life changes. That's when you start getting in the market. That's when you start changing your whole life. That's when you start getting to the bag because you are fully bought in on your own self-image, right? Who you are, who you know you are, who you know you becoming. That's what's more important than the stock market. That's what's more important than anything is how much have you bought in to yourself and who you're becoming and who you are right now. That's what's more important, y'all. All right? I just had to say that. That just came to me. I know we talking about the market, but I need you guys to understand that you being able to build up yourself is going to help you be better in the market, okay? You're going to build character. This is not about just the stock market. This is about you becoming the absolute best version of yourself in every single capacity, in every single category in your life. All right. So I'm here to sell you guys on yourself, man. Whatever you want in this world, you can have it. I need you to understand that. It ain't about what things look like. All right. It's about who you becoming, what you got going on, and how much you desire something. All right. Please understand this, y'all. This is not about the stock market. This ain't about, making $3,000 today. That's all the allure of life, right? But when we really boil it down, the only reason that we're doing this in the stock market is so we can make money to be free from the matrix. That's what all of this is about. All right. That's what all of this is about. So when you understand that, you should be patient in learning this skill set because you know and understand that once you get this skill set down, you will be free from the matrix of all of this stuff that was created to make all of us be slaves. You get what I'm saying? So please, 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 this is way deeper than a chart. I could talk about charts all day, but what I really want you guys to understand is how powerful you are inside. That's what's more important than any of this stuff. All right? Most people going to talk about stocks, but I'm not just stock. It's way more than that, right? That's my message. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand on a cellular level. All right. Be willing to go through the journey of whatever your journey is so you can get to the place that you ultimately desire to be. Right. That's what this is about. All right. That's what this is about. That just came to me, man. So keep all of these things in mind, y'all. All right. Keep all of these things in mind. OK. So and don't tell me to get on with the business either. Right. This is the YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. We're going to talk about what we talk about. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, y'all, all right, when we looking at the market this week, okay, when we looking at the market this week, the first thing that I'm going to be looking at, all right, the first thing that I'm going to be looking at is going to be right here. All right, we got Google. Okay, we got Google right here. Now, like I said, all of the charts look the same, okay? All of the charts look the same. So let's go to Google real quick. I really like Google as a company, okay? Like we're all using Google right now, right? They own YouTube. So I really like Google as a company. Look at this. All right. So here's what we got for Google. Okay. When I'm looking at Google right here on the charts, right? When I'm looking at Google right here on the charts, I want you guys to understand that there's a couple things that could happen, right? So we could either just bounce right here, okay? But I don't think that that's going to happen because I'm pretty confident that we're going to close below this level right here, right? So we're either going to come down to this support level right here, right, at 233, right? Right at 232.95 or 233, and then we're going to bounce, right? Or we're going to come down to this support level right here at 225.87, and then we're going to bounce. Or we're going to come down here, right, to 219.02, and then we're going to bounce. Or we could come down and fill the gap at 211.67, right? So these are the levels that I'm looking at on support when we're looking at Google, right? If you look at Google and you zoom out, right? If we zoom out on Google, right? I remember when I was trading Google, they was at like 140, okay? Around this time, right? Back in June, April, right? They created an inverse head and shoulders, it looked like, right? And they was all the way, they was at 186, came down. Their previous all-time highs was at 207 right here. They had came down here, and I knew what was going on. I was like, man, they gonna go up to retrace these all-time highs right here, and look what happened. All right, they retraced the all-time highs, and then once they broke above the all-time highs, they blasted off and they went all the way up here. All right, so, and look what happened. Y'all see this? Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this big candle right here on Google? So look, Google went from 163 all the way down to 151, right? And then look what happened. For 2 days, they consolidated kind of. And then look, a week later, they was right back up to where they came from. And then they blasted off even higher. So this candle right here looks very similar to what? This candle right here, right? Not as big, but you guys get what I'm saying. For 3 days straight, 4 days straight, we've been selling off on Google, right? So we could come down and fill this gap right here, or we could bounce before we fill the gap and then go back to the upside, right? Just because we have a gap does not mean that it is going to be filled. But if it does come into this gap right here, what I want you guys to do is I want y'all to almost load the boat on that one, because this is going to set up for it to come right back up to here, 255 and beyond, right? So if it comes down to 213, 211, yo, go heavy on Google. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because it's gonna come back up. Even if it goes right back up to 236 from 211, that's a nice move right there. All right. So that's my first. That's the first setup is gonna be Google. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Just because a stock has a big gap doesn't mean that it's just going to go straight through it, right? Like, if that was the case, it would be easy to trade a gap, right? Because, like, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up. All the stars got to be aligned for a gap to just get filled immediately, right? Like, so many stars have to be aligned, right? But it don't always happen that way, okay? So the next stock that I'm going to be looking at, right? The next stock I'm looking at throughout the week is going to be right here. Now, this is going to be a really good setup right here, y'all, okay? This is a really good setup, and I'm going to tell you why. All right? So the next setup is going to be right here. All right, y'all see this? We got Alibaba. It's a Chinese stock. Okay, they got hit hard last week. Alibaba rejected at 192.95. Okay? Now watch this. Watch this. All right, let's go to Baba. All right. So, check this out, right? Look where Alibaba was headed to. Okay? Look where Alibaba was headed to. right? At 192, right? Now watch this. I'm about to zoom out and I'm gonna show you the power, okay? Now this looks bad, right? This looks real bad right here. Now watch this. Let me zoom out some, okay? And then look at this. Look at where Alibaba was at. They was all the way at 320, okay? They're halfway to their real target of those all-time highs right there, okay? So they was all the way at 320, okay? Now watch this. Now let's come back down a little bit. Now look at where they at now. Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this? Right here. So now they just came back down to this 159 level right here, right? And that's just the same area right here. So what I'm looking at on Alibaba is the support level, okay? I got two support levels for y'all. We got 156.50, right? 156.50. Support level right here, right? It closed right here at 158, 159.01, but it could come down to 156, or we got an order block right here. It could come down to about 146 to 148. All right. It could come down to about 146 to 148. We got an order block right there. All right. So that's the area that I'm looking at Alibaba to come down to. Now they already came down substantially from 192 right here. So, right, if they can bounce in this area and then retrace, oh, that's going to be beautiful, because we don't have any resistance until 175, right? Until 175. So if we come down to 146 and we could get a move up to 175, that'll change your life, all right? That will change your life. So I'm looking at Alibaba. The support level is 156.50, and then we got a little range from about 146 to 148. All right, and we get a nice retracement up here, we'll be in the money. Okay? So let me know if that makes sense, y'all. All right? Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. And if y'all just tuning in, say what's up in the comments. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right? And also be sure to like this video as well. Okay? Like this video. All right? Zoom out. Yeah, when you zoom out, it definitely shows a bigger picture. And also the reason why I'm looking at like this as a Chinese stock is because we're talking about, so Trump just said 100% tariffs, right? So you got to think, right? If we talking about a Chinese stock and, you know, tariffs from China, so what happens when the narrative changes and he tweets something about there's no longer tariffs? This stock is going to shoot right back up. You see what I'm saying? And because I know the levels of where it just came from, I'm going to ride calls back to the upside, right? That's how the game go. So if we could get positive news from Trump about the tariffs, which we know we're going to hear something about tariffs, if we hear positive news about tariffs, then I'm going to be looking at Alibaba to go right back to the upside. All right? If choosing priority, do you prefer calls or shares for Baba? I like calls just because I would be in it for a short term, like maybe like a week, right? Or maybe 2 weeks. My expiration may be a month out or so, but it just depends. But with this, I would just do a call, like call options. I would like to get their shares around like under 120, right? Under 120 for Alibaba would have been where I would have bought shares at, but I don't have no shares of Alibaba, right? Do you use the broadened information? If not, why? I've heard of it, but I don't really. My main strategy that I really focus on is demand and supply, and also the strat method. So I base a lot of my trades off of the strat method and off of that price action, off of bigger time frames. All right. He said he liked Baba. Yeah. Should I do a put tomorrow? I mean, I don't know. Should you? Right? I can't tell you what you should do. Right? I'm not here to tell you guys what you should do. Right? That's why if you not, come join the Prosperity Collective. Right? Come join the trading community, because this is not about me telling you what you should do. It's not about me telling you what to do. I don't know if you should do a put. I don't know where your account is at. I don't know if you got any open positions. I don't know if you got shares. I don't know nothing, right? I don't know if you should do a put tomorrow. What I do know is you should learn how to fully trade so that you will know if you should do a put, right? And let's be clear, this is not me being disrespectful or anything, but I'm here to elevate you, right? If you're watching this, I'm here to elevate you, right? This is not about me giving you regurgitated information, right? I'm here to elevate your mind. So you got to understand that I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. I'm here to empower you so that you can know what you need to do for your personal life. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, Alibaba is, it's the Amazon version of China, basically. Yep. Trump has a meeting still scheduled with XI. I'll be looking at, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, if we could get some, depending on what news we get between Trump and China, then that's gonna let us know. Now, I saw something, right? I'm gonna share with y'all. And Trump said that, where is it at? So Trump said that, this is off of a page. It said breaking news, right? It says, after causing the worst day in the stock market since April, Trump did it, right? President Trump says, don't worry about China. It will all be fine, right? Is this an indirect way of saying buy the dip? And then it's a picture of him shaking his hand, right? So I need you guys to understand what happened in April, right? If you were not trading in April, you're not going to get this. But what he said was, when the market was dropping crazy after Liberation Day and he made the market drop, he made the SPY go from like 550 down to 478 or 488. I remember it was down below $500. The whole world was in a frenzy, right? And then he said, it's a great time to buy stocks, okay? He said this at like 8 a.m., right? And then watch this. Then later on that day, the whole stock market had exploded and millionaires was made. Over the next 2 days, the stock market went absolutely bonkers after he crashed the market. And then he said it's a great time to buy stocks. And later on that day, stocks went absolutely insane, right? So by me seeing this right here, right? By me seeing this right here and him saying, don't worry about China, it will all be fine, right? Y'all got to understand how he talks. He be trying to give people layups. He be trying to give people clues to buy. He can't just say it, but he be trying to tell them. So when he's sitting here saying that it's okay, everything with China is going to be fine, when he says something like that after he just made the stock market come down, you got to and then I just watched him do the same thing in April. I just watched him do the exact same thing in April. Trade war, right? So because I saw him do this same exact thing in April, he's doing the same exact thing now. So this is also why I'm looking at Alibaba, because they are like the Amazon in China. So what's going to happen is, right, if we get positive news about China and tariffs, and then the whole market starts to go up, but because this is a Chinese stock and we're talking about tariffs, Baba can go absolutely insane right back up to the 192 and then back to up to 200s plus, right? So that's what I'm seeing in the market. That's what I'm seeing in the market, right? And this is what I'll be paying attention to when I'm looking at these trades. It's not just, oh, this stock is going to do this. No, there's a catalyst, or there's a reason why this stock is going to do something, right? So if we get positive move, I'm going to have more confidence on getting into that trade because I know what that's going to mean for Alibaba. And also because the stock just dropped for the past 5 days straight anyway. So because it just dropped, it has to retrace at least halfway. So if the stock dropped by $20 over 5 days, right, or $40 over 5 days, even if it retraces 20% of that $40, that's a $10 move off of an Alibaba swing trade. This is how you have to think, right? So this is what I mean. Learn how to find the support levels this week and then wait for a reversal signal and then get rich. This is how you play the game. Okay? So the wildest move I ever seen. Right. Real talk. I remember when he said, great time to buy. Exactly. Great time to buy. And then the stock market went crazy. You know, like, we got to pay attention to that stuff, y'all. All right. It's a good point. He dropping cookie crumbs. It's going to be the main topic of discussion. Trump a catalyst on his own. I follow that motherfucker like the chart. He said he follow it like the charts. Now, I feel that. All right. So if y'all tuning in, man, like this video for me. Drop it in the comments where y'all tuning in from. Also, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, y'all. All right. Just subscribe to the channel. Every single day, I'm bringing you guys life-changing information, right, that could change your life in the charts, and it's changed some people's lives, and it's changing some people's lives too, all right? And also be sure to join the trading community, man, the Prosperity Collective, live trading in there, swing trading, all of that good stuff. All right, we got bots as well. These bots be bringing 300, 400% trades on a consistent basis, all right? So, and we got a full course in there now too, all right? We got a full course. It got about 8 hours of content, right, for you guys to go learn how to trade and all these different strategies and all that stuff. And we have weekly study sessions inside of the community as well. Okay, so we gonna get you right, y'all. If y'all want to join, be sure to click the link in the description and come join us. All right, come trade with us. All right. So the last setup that I'm looking at, y'all. All right, the last setup that I'm looking at right now. I'm going to pull it up right here. All right, y'all ready for this one? All right, so the last setup that I'm looking at is going to be right here, DraftKings. Okay, DKNG. They're sitting at a demand zone right here. All right, demand area. Yeah, I made a mistake right here. Let me edit this to $29. And $29. All right, so let's go look at the charts with DraftKings. Okay. All right, DraftKings right here. Okay, so let's look at what they did on the daily, right? Look, they came up here to 48, started to reject, and look, they've been on a downtrend, right? They made a bear flag right here. Came down some more, right? Now, I'm already in a swing on DraftKings, right? But look at this area right here. We got a nice demand zone, right? So look what happened. It came down here. Hold on. All right, bless you. It came down here, and then it bounced, and it went all the way up to 36, came down, and then it went up to 42, right? So that's a demand zone bounce over here, right? Came down in this area, ended up going up to 39, came down in this area again, and look where it went up to. Went up to 43, pulled back, and then it ended up going up to 48, right? Now, so we came down here, bull flag, and then we came down more, right? So now we're in the same area. We're actually inside of this order block right here, right? This order block right here, okay? So we look at this order block right here. If we could solidify a support level here and we start to bounce, DraftKings is going to come right back up to 36. And then we get above 36, we're going to be coming up to 39, okay? So I like them above $29, okay? I like DraftKings above $29, right? If we could stay above $29, I like them to the upside about a month out, right? I'm in a month out swing right now, a little bit longer than a month, but I'm in a swing right now on DraftKings to the upside, right? And I would like to take it to $40, $40, $43. It would be my target, okay? So they're already down bad right here. They could come down a couple more dollars for a short period of time. In this demand zone, buyers step in, because they've stepped in every time it came in down here before, and then that'll push it back up. Excuse me. That'll push it back up, and then we're going to get a nice move to the upside, and then we could take profits around $40 to $43. Okay? So that's my that's DraftKings setup. All right. DT, I like Hood to drop some more. Yeah, Hood is definitely I still think it could come down some more, maybe to like 125, 130. That would be nice. And then we could get that thing to really reverse, and we could print with Hood as well. All right. Memphis. Oh, shout out to Memphis, man. Shout out to Memphis. All right, I'm looking at Hood too. Yeah. Yeah, Robinhood is going to be a big money printer once it reverses as well, because it's going to go hard. All right, it's going to go hard. So yeah. So listen, y'all. That is this week's watch list. That is this week's setups. Okay, we got Google, we got Alibaba, and we got DraftKings. All right, there's a lot more setups, obviously, that I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be letting everybody know when I'm getting into these swing trades, all of that good stuff as well. Okay, so Jeff said I bought UNH calls on Friday around 363 strike price of 380. It was almost going to fill the gap at 377 for a month and a half expiry. Then all of a sudden the news came out. I don't know what to do. Hey Jeff, man, I know how that feels. I definitely understand. At least you have a month and a half out. Yeah, at least you have a month and a half out. I would give it a couple days and see what happens, like what kind of retracement we get. But yeah, that's a little tough situation. What I would do is I would also either join the collective, man, or go book a one-on-one session, and we could really look at your portfolio and figure out, like, you know, what needs to happen or what could happen, because depending on how much you have in your account and you know, what other positions you have open and stuff like that, there's things that could be done to mitigate that loss and then figure out how to get out of it. Or, you know, do we just need to wait? Do we need to add to the position? We don't know, because, you know, we got to get more information. All right. So if y'all want to join the Discord, click the link in the description. If y'all want to book a one-on-one, click the link in the description as well. All right. And yeah, y'all. So that's the setups for this week. Okay. Be sure to, if you got to watch this over, be sure to watch it over. And yeah, make sure that you're being patient this week. Don't try to get in front of any trades, all right? And the biggest thing this week is going to be patience, all right? Let things bottom out, right? Do your day trades and stuff, but don't try to go too crazy, all right? Don't try to keep short in the market without support levels breaking as well, all right? Make sure y'all are being responsible, and make sure y'all are being professional in how you are approaching your trades. All right, y'all. So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all's time. All right, I appreciate y'all's time. I hope that this Sunday setup was helpful to you. I hope that you guys make a lot of money. All right, I hope that you guys make a lot of money. I hope that y'all change your lives this week. I hope that you guys have patience this week as well. All right, so like I always say, and I want y'all to say it with me, all right? Make sure you get up out your head and go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live, man. All right? And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right? You guys have a phenomenal evening. Y'all have a phenomenal week, man. All right? Tap in with me every day this week on YouTube. You know I got videos coming out every single day, all right? Everybody, man, y'all stay smooth, and I'm going to holler at you guys on tomorrow's video, all right? Peace.